NHL news update: Seattle approved as latest expansion franchise. Gary Bettman had a news conference today after the Board of Governors meetings in Georgia, I believe, with all the owners of the NHL. They had meetings between yesterday and today, and they had a vote on the Seattle expansion team, and it went forward. It was approved. So here we are. Now, some details. When is it going to start? When are they going to start their first season? They initially wanted it to be a 2020-21 season, but the Key Arena, which is being renovated, will begin to be renovated very shortly, won't be ready until about November 2020, and the league didn't want a new expansion team to start the season, which begins in early mid-October, without a home arena to play in. And plus, with construction, there's always delays and so on and so forth. Plus, there might be a lockout that year, so they're pushing it back to the 2021-22 season. The ownership group is led by billionaire David Bonderman, Hollywood producer Jerry Bruckheimer, and CEO Tim Lewicki, formerly president of the MLS. Which basically he oversaw the Toronto Maple Leafs, the Raptors, the Toronto FC. He made some major changes for all those teams, including hiring Brendan Shanahan, who burned the Toronto Maple Leafs down to the ground and rebuilded them, and hired everyone who's there today. In any case, so he's been heading this up for the past few years or so. And now it's become a reality. Now, where's Seattle going to go? Obviously, they're going into the Western Conference, but the Western Conference had 15 teams, whereas the Eastern Conference had 16 teams. So now that helps even out the conferences, 16 apiece. The one division that was missing a team was the Central. It only had, at the time, Nashville, Chicago, Minnesota, Winnipeg, Dallas, St. Louis, and Colorado. Now, as you've noticed, Seattle will not be entering the Central. Arizona will come from the Pacific over to the Central. That's also been confirmed. It makes the most sense. We'll get into that in a second. But Seattle, will be in the Pacific. I think for obvious reasons, right? I mean, they have a natural rivalry with Vancouver, who's right down the street, 100 and something miles drive away. And then you're not moving any of the California teams, right? Anaheim Ducks, San Jose Sharks, LA Kings. You're not moving those teams. And then there's Edmonton and Calgary, but you can't really move one without the other because they're both in the same province. They're huge rivalries. That's not happening. And then that leaves the Vegas Golden Knights, an expansion team who came in of themselves last season with great success. I guess it makes more geographical sense to move Arizona instead of Vegas. And it being somewhat of a fresh franchise itself, they didn't want to uproot it division-wise, and they thought it'd be better suited here. Now, the Vegas Golden Knights paid $500 million to enter the league as an expansion fee. The Seattle, as yet to be named team, is going to be paying $650 million. What else? The name. They haven't picked a name yet. They've been talking about it for the past year or so. I believe the group heading up the Seattle bid has copyrighted 12 names. I think some of the more popular ones might be the Metropolitans, who was the original name of the Seattle franchise in the NHL. That's a little side note. They also happen to be, the Metropolitans were the first American team to ever win the Stanley Cup, beating the Montreal Canadiens back in 1917. I don't remember when they moved out of Seattle or folded, or that's another video where you can look that up yourself, or you can let me know in the comments section. In any case, the other name, I believe, which is kind of leading the pack there, might be the Seattle Kraken. I would love to hear Seattle new NHL Seattle fans, I would love to hear what you think, what you would like to hear preferred as a name. As long as with everyone else out there, I'd love to hear your opinions on what you like the team to be named. Not just from the those 12 copyrighted choices, but anything else really within reason. And I think that's about it. I think we covered everything. As always, I would love to hear your thoughts and opinions. Thank you so much for watching. Hit like if you like this video. Please subscribe if you haven't already. And if you have any Hockey Geek friends, please don't feel shy about sharing. Thanks again, and I'll see you soon.